Leadership is about having empathy for the people you are leading. Peter Obi is here to tell us what he will do when he assumes office. Listen to him speak.
Hello, can you hear me?
We can hear you, sir.
Okay. Well, mine is first to start by most sincerely gratitude to all of you for the effort you have put over the years, fighting for a better Nigeria and the welfare of people. We can't thank you enough because most of you have sacrificed a lot for this nation, and I'm sure God will continue to bless all of you in different ways. Again, to urge you to continue your effort. At times when you're working and sacrificing a difficult, unappreciated situation like we are in Nigeria, you feel very pained that your sacrifice is in vain. But I assure you it's not in vain. It's adding every day to this long journey of change. What you're doing is what is helping this change we're all fighting for. This new Nigeria we're all fighting for. It is your sacrifice and passport. As for the two things you're mentioning, I can say a lot about the election because, of course, I'm in Tribunal. The only thing I can say is that the major ingredients of democracy is, like my very dear sister in Korea has said, must be rooted on the foundation of rule of law. And like I've said publicly, if you must seek or want to answer His or Her Excellency, the process through which you reach that destination must be excellent. Because you've now become exemplary, a role model for people to emulate. And we cannot allow our children, our young ones, to be emulating criminality and things that are wrong. So for me, this is sacrosanct. The process is far more important than what you do thereafter. As for issue of subsidy, I've maintained throughout the campaign that subsidy is organized crime, and I've shown it using the example of Nigeria and Pakistan to show that the quantity of we consume is far more than what we're supposed to consume, because we have a country with similar population, even with more roads. I don't know whether they have more cars, consuming below 50% of what we consume. So showing it, I've looked at the cost, and like again, my dear sister said, let's be transparent, let's have the costing. I said I will remove it immediately, but let's have the statistical method in which you arrive at, one, the cost, what you're removing, and the benefits. Like I mentioned in my tweet, that there's a difference between if you have a toothache and it has to be removed, The difference between that he went to the dentist and he applies the local anesthesia and then having it removed by force. And when you want to do this, we want to see governance where every sector that requires urgent change is being done simultaneously. And for me, the number one thing we need to deal with in this country is cutting the cost of governance. It is huge, it is irresponsible, and must be dealt with immediately. When we cut cost of governance, that is number one. Then we now start cutting the cost, and every cost, everything we're going to do must be in such a way that there's an empirical, verifiable, statistical evidence. This is what we're doing. This is where we're going to do it. If it's going to involve the public, like issue of subsidy, where we know that the people that will be affected more are those at the lower stratum of the society, government must be pro-poor in all their decisions. They must look at what will affect them. Those who are less privileged, because all these things, for the privileged ones, it doesn't affect them. So we must look at it. So for me, government must, in everything they do, think about the less privileged, the poor in our society. The targets must be how to lift them out of poverty, to how do you get those things that work for them, education, primary health care, work immediately, and then be able to ensure there's rule of law and order. There must be security. All this is what government is supposed to focus on and deal with. Thank you, people. Mine today would have been just to listen to you, because what you are doing is wonderful, and I'm glad I'm part of it. I've been listening since the beginning, and I'm sure I'll listen to the end. So once again, thank you. Thank you. The job of the leader is to listen more and be able to ensure that he governs by ensuring that it's government that is demand-driven, not supply-driven. So I'm not going to tell you much, but to listen to you, I'm taking note. I thank all those that have spoken. It's wonderful. Thank you. God continue to bless all of you and your families.
Thank you for watching. Please be on a watch out, because I'll be uploading the full version of this Zoom session. We had other big personalities who spoke during this session. People like senior lawyer Mike Ozekome and others who spoke during this Zoom session. I'll be uploading that video soon. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Bye.